Okay, so today in class we learned the elimination method of solving systems of equations. This paper that I'm looking at, number 8 right here, is the homework paper that you received, and you had to do the odds. So I'm just going to choose two evens that you can follow along with me if you need any support. In number 8, in any of these problems, we have to make a decision first about which letter we're going to eliminate, right? The whole point is to try to get rid of one of the letters. And if you notice, in number 8, the x's are exactly the same. If I add those together, 3x plus 3x, I get 6x. And that doesn't do me any good because the whole point is to eliminate one of the letters. So in this case, I wouldn't want to add them. I want to subtract them, right? So if they're exactly the same, you want to subtract. So we're going to subtract all of the pieces of this equation. When I subtract them, the 3 x's cancel. 4y's minus 6y's make negative 2y's. And then 19 minus 33. Well, let's not make any silly mistakes. Let's check this guy on our calculator. 19 minus 33. Okay, we get negative 14. I'm going to divide by negative 2. And y equals positive 7. Now I'm going to go back to either equation and plug in 7 for y to find x. I think I'm going to choose the first equation. The numbers are a little bit smaller. Everything's positive, so either one would be totally fine, but I think I'm just going to choose the first one since either one should work. Okay, so 3x plus 4 times 7 is supposed to equal 19. So let's evaluate that. 4 times 7 is 28. So let's subtract 28. 3x equals, we're going to do 19 minus 28. This gives us negative 9. So when I divide by 3, I get negative 3. So my two that work, x is negative 3 and y, is 7. Okay, let me show you how to check, right? Let's make sure this works. The whole point was to try to find this ordered pair that works in both of these equations. Okay, so the x and y should work in both equations. So if I say in the first equation, 3 times negative 3, which was the x value, plus 4 times the y value of 7, if I hit enter, I'm hoping to see 19, and I do, right? So this makes 19. Let's check the second one as well. 3 times negative 3 plus 6 times the y value of 7 should make 33, and it does. So I know absolutely this ordered pair, negative 3, 7, both at xy combo, makes this true. So this one is done and correct. Okay, let's look at number 12. In this case, notice you're going to look for the letter to eliminate. And in this case, I'm going to choose the y's. Okay, well, why am I going to choose the y's? Well, oops, sorry about the bell. Okay, in this case, you notice that the 5's are the same, but you notice they have opposite signs, right? They have opposite signs. If I take any two numbers, if I take 10 and negative 10, well, if I add them, they cancel. If I subtract them, I end up with 20. Okay, so, and again, using your calculator will help you support this if you're, need a little support with your integer work. But in this case, if I have opposites, so one's a plus and one's a minus, this is going to be the case where I'm going to add. Watch. If I do negative 5 plus 5, I get 0, right? That's the point. But if I did negative 5 minus 5, I get negative 10. That's not what I want. I want them to go away. So if they're opposite operations here, okay, if they're opposites here, then you know that you are going to add. Opposites add. Okay, so let's go through this one. And I just determined that I'm going to add them. So I'm going to add every piece. 2x and 4x is 6x. These cancel. And let's do negative 28 plus 4. And that should give me negative 24. When I divide by 6, I get negative 4. Okay, so that's my x value. And now I have to go back and find y. And you know what? I think I'm going to use the second equation this time. Because you notice the negative 5 with the y, I think I'd like to avoid that if I can. So I'm going to use this one. 4 times negative 4 plus 5y equals 4. This is negative 16. So I add 16 to the other side. 5y equals 20. When I divide by 5, I get a y is positive 4. So this ordered pair is negative 4, 4. And again, you can go back on your calculator and test it. 2 times negative 4 minus 5 times 4 should give you negative 28. And also it should work 4 times negative 4 plus 5 times 4 should give you 4. Okay? So that's what we did today, and that's how you choose whether to add or subtract. Remember, same. If they're exactly the same, subtract. If they're opposites, add. This is how I remember. These two become vowels. These are consonants. Okay? Have fun with your homework.